Welcome back to our AI Explained series, and it's your host Marv, and today we're going to be talking about memory. So, how AI is able to keep track of your conversation and why it's actually more expensive than you think. Okay, so let's get into it. So, here's something that surprises most people, right? Whenever you're chatting with an AI and it seems to remember what you said 5 messages ago, it actually isn't remembering anything. Every single API call to Claude or ChatGPT is stateless, and essentially meaning the model has no memory. It's kind of like speaking to somebody with an amnesia, right? So, how does it seem to remember? The trick is quite simple. The agent code, which is the software sitting between you and the model, stores every message in a list. And then every time you send a new message, it sends the entire conversation history along with it. So, let's say you ask it a question like, how many hotels are in Tokyo, right? The agent doesn't just send your question, it sends the system prompt, the message, the previous messages, the AI's responses to your message, and all the other messages in between as well. So we can see here that the model reads all of that and it looks like it remembers, but it's just reading the full transcript every single time. Okay, so now this has a direct cost implication, right? Your first message might send about maybe 2,000 tokens to a model, right? That's the system prompt plus your question. And then by message 5, you're sending in about 8,000 tokens. All the previous messages and responses are included. And then by message 20, you could be sending up to 30,000 or more tokens per request. And that's the system prompt, all the skills and all the rounds of conversations. So as we can see, every token costs money, so the longer your conversation goes, the more expensive each message becomes. This is why some AI tools seem to start to slow down or cut off after long conversations. They're hitting the context window limit. Okay, so now let's go into what happens when you close the browser or restart the server, right? Um, Without persistence, right, everything is gone. So this is why we have, or we rather save in the cloud or in our systems whenever using agents, sessions to a disk. So after each message, the full conversation is written to a JSON file. So each session is one file in a session folder. So when you come back and click on the session in a sidebar or in your history, right, in whatever AI model you're using, the file gets read and then is loaded back into memory, and then the conversation is actually able to be picked up from where it was last left off. So we have an automatic cleanup, right, on my system, right? And so in this type of scenario, sessions older than X amount of days get deleted, right? Or if you're using a very expensive plan, you can keep it there forever, right? So yeah. And now let's talk about a few trade-offs, right? Oh, the more memory means more context, but it means better responses though. And the AI can reference earlier parts of a conversation and gives more relevant answers. But more context means more tokens, which means higher costs and slower responses. So we can see that there is a direct relationship between the two here. And models all have a maximum context window, right? So, let's say for example, we had a model that can handle 2,000 tokens, right? 200,000 tokens. And this sounds like a lot, but with a very, very rich system prompt, maybe 20 skills and a long conversation window, you can easily hit limits, right? So the key takeaway is AI memory is actually just an illusion. It's just resending the chat log every time, and it works, but it has real implicating costs. And in our next video, we're going to talk about the blueprints, right? Which is the system prompt that defines how AI, models, agents, you know, kind of work, right? And the brain that goes on behind it. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in the follow-up one.